Hi, in this video we're going to talk about expanding brackets. Basically, expansion is the opposite of factorization, and we just multiply the terms in one bracket with the other terms in the second bracket and write the resultant terms in addition or subtraction. Now, let's see some examples. So the first one is rather easy, of course. It's 4 times 7 and x times x, so I'm going to end up saying 28x squared. And then if I multiply 4x and 5, I'm going to end up with 20x. Unless there's a negative sign here, I generally copy-paste the sign in between these terms. So I have 28x squared plus 20x. And there's nothing else to do here. There's no simplification. Now, if I start with this one, now I have 2 terms here, 2 terms here, right? So I have to do the multiplication of the first term in the first bracket with all the terms in the second bracket. So first term in the first bracket with all the terms in the second bracket. Now, that's going to be x times 2x, 2x squared. X times 1 is x, so it's plus x. Now is the time for the second term with all the terms in the second bracket. So it's going to be minus 3 times 2x, so it's minus 6x. Minus 3 times 1 is minus 3. And now we have a simplification bit here. I'm going to copy-paste 2x squared. But here it is 1x minus 6x, so it is 1 minus 6, which is minus 5, so it's minus 5x, and I copy-paste minus 3. Now, things do not change much if you have 3 terms here, right? So you'll take the first term of the in the first bracket, and you multiply it with each and every term in the second bracket. Then you take the second term in the first bracket and you do multiply it with all the terms. So basically, it's a little bit hard to keep track, but once you get used to it, it's not that hard. So 2a times a is, okay, it's better if I go with the lines one by one, right? So 2a times a is 2a squared. And then you have 2a times minus 2b, so it's going to be minus 4ab. And then you have 2a times 3, which will be plus 6a, right? And then I go on now with minus 3b here. Minus 3b times a, it's going to be minus 3ab. Now, although I have 3b here multiplied by a, I prefer to write them in alphabetical order, not BA, but AB, right? And then it is minus 3b times minus 2b, which will be plus 6b squared. And last but not least, minus 3b times 3 minus 9b. And there is only minus 4a and minus 4ab and minus 3ab for simplification. So I'm going to write all the other terms as a copy-paste, but I will simplify these two. So it's going to be 2a squared plus 6a minus 7ab plus 6b squared minus 9b. So that's the resultant product. Now, in this example, we have 3 terms, 3 factors, let's say, to multiply, right? X, 3x minus 1, and 2x plus 7. So, it doesn't matter which one you start with, which 2, right? You could multiply x and 3x minus 1, or you can multiply 3x minus 1 and 2x plus 7 first. It doesn't matter. But what's going to happen is once you choose the 2 factors to multiply, you're going to end up with a bigger expression. and then you're going to multiply it with the remaining factor. So there are 2 steps of work here. Well, I'll start with multiplying x by 3x minus 1. So I'm going to end up with 3x squared minus x, again in brackets because it's the multiplication by 2x plus 7, yeah? And then I will multiply 3x squared minus x by 2x plus 7. So it's going to be 3x squared times 2x, which is 6x squared. 3x squared times 7 is 21x. Excuse me, I made a mistake here. That's going to 6x cubed plus 21x squared. And I now go with minus x. Minus x times x, 2x is minus 2x squared. And minus x times 7 is minus 7x. Now, there's some simplification here. I could write 6x cubed, a copy paste, and I can simplify these saying plus 19x squared minus 7x. So this is the product. If you have a binomial, let's say 3a minus 1 squared, you know what this means. This means 3a minus 1 multiplied by itself. And whether you use a shortcut or you actually do multiply, right, you will end up with the same answer, which would be 9a squared minus 6a plus 1. Now, there are some identities. This is square of the difference. There's a square of sum. Yeah? If you remember these, then you can directly write the end product. But it's totally okay if you do the multiplication as well. Now, you don't need to memorize these, but if you do know them, it's going to help you a lot. Which are, right. So, a plus b bracket squared does expand to this, and a minus b bracket squared does expand to this expression. So if you keep these in mind, you can easily expand these. Now, look at this one. It is 2x minus 7 bracket squared. So all I'm going to write down is 2x squared minus, right, there's a minus sign here. Now I have to multiply by 2 of these terms, so 2x and 7, and then plus, it's going to be 7 squared. So if I expand, it's going to be 4x squared minus 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 7 is 28x plus 49, I'm done. And, I mean, even without this step, if you can just write this answer down. Certainly we have difference of squares, right? That is the expansion of these factors multiplied, right? So if you multiply these factors one another, you end up with the difference of squares. Now, we have some more identities with cubes. So we have a minus b brackets cubed, which expands to this expression, and a plus b brackets cube expands to this expression. So again, it's good to know, but this is not a must, okay? So you can notice that the terms are all the same, whereas the signs alter in the minus. It starts with a minus and it alternates. So it's going to be minus, plus, minus, and so on. And also we have difference of cubes and sum of cubes factored out like this. So if you expand these factors, you will end up with the difference of cubes and sum of cubes respectively. Again, I repeat, it's good to know, but it's not a must. Right, we have 5 questions here, 5 set of factors to expand and simplify if possible. If not, that's fine. So please solve these on your books and submit your answers online. Thank you for watching.